What's up? What's up? This the Boss Ladies Live radio show. Speaker Studios sponsored by Boss Ladies Inc. "15 things poor people do that rich people don't." I got tired of being poor. Are you tired of being poor or being around poverty? Some of us call it poverty. Are you ready to think successful? Are you ready to be a positive thinker? Are you struggling with needs versus wants? You know there's a balance. Let's talk about that. Excuse me. I'm just getting over the doggone respiratory flu here. So excuse my coughing. Didn't mean to be rude and cough all up in your ears and all of that. Sorry about, I do apologize, not sorry, but I do apologize for the delay on the show at 6 p.m. tonight. I had to do some rearranging because of, since I'm doing it via cell phone, I have to be careful of how many windows I have open and things like that. And calls are coming through or text and Facebook Messenger and things like that. So I'd like to ask a favor. Can you please hold off on phone calls, texting, messaging, things like that until after the show? If you urgently want to communicate with me, there's a place on Speaker that has a chat room. Once I post up the link, you can click on the link and then you can go to the chat room. The chat room is only available if you have the Speaker app, and it's available on Play Store. It's free. Just download it, and Speaker will be happy to walk you through the steps on how to get started. And it's also an opportunity to start your own podcast, to speak out, to talk about some issues that you want to talk about. However, if you want to be a guest on the show, just let me know in the comments and what your topic is, and we can set up a time and day where we can go over some things. And first I'll do a test just to see how things are going, and then we can get rolling with the show. The shows are longer than 15 minutes now because I'm officially a broadcaster. and radio DJ and radio host. So I'm excited to let you know that opportunities are getting bigger and doors are starting to open. So I do appreciate your participation, and I also appreciate all my listeners. On that note, let's get some EDU in our lives. School is in, and we're going to be talking about 15 things that rich people do that poor people don't. 15 things that rich people do that poor people don't. How I discovered this, I was sitting down and I was thumbing through some topics that I wanted to talk about, and I was discussing some things with some family, and I was shown this video on YouTube. It's a video called 15 Things That Rich People Do versus What Poor People Don't, and it's like a 15-minute video on those 15 things and why and how poor people think versus how rich people think. And it gave me some insight on some mistakes that I made over the years and currently. I had to look at the habits. I had to look at certain things that I engage in and people that I hang around to determine, is this a rich life or a poor life that I'm pursuing? So as I'm looking at this, it's like I always say, it's a hard pill to swallow when reality hits and truth is not always amusing. But this is something that needs to be addressed if we are in a poor situation. And I remember saying on previous shows that I had a dull moment in my business, but I have to also look at it too. I had a dull moment in my work life and my home life. You know, true economics starts at home. True leadership starts in the home. True, raising of children starts in the home. You know, that's whatever you present in your house, that's pretty much what you will represent when you go out into the world and in your community, work, church, school, business, whatever it is. I think all these 15 things applies to every area of our life, even down to the foods that we eat. So I'll start with the 15 things. I'm going to run through them real quick, and then I'm going to elaborate on them, and then I'm going to just, pull up that video and look at the comments that were made after this, because it wasn't a lot of people that were happy to receive this information. And truth is really not amusing. That's something you have to face. That's something that you're going to have to come across and realize that that's a problem. If it's not, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you. And if it doesn't apply to you, what are some things that you are doing that, are you making improvements to come out of the poor section in your life? So, number 1, poor people watch a lot of TV. Number 2, poor people eat fast food. Number 3, poor people buy clothes or products that are on sale. Number 4, poor people wake up later than rich people in their early years. Number 5, poor people are really into sports. Number 6, poor people don't shower as often as rich people do. That's a powerful one. 7, poor people blame others for their dysfunctions and or misfortunes. 8, poor people don't have money saved. 9, poor people take out credit cards or take out loans for useless things. 10, poor people tend to have more kids and earlier in life. 11, poor people do not do regular checkups with their medic or doctor. Number 12, poor people spend money before they get it. Number 13, poor people hang with poor people. 14, poor people never follow through on their ideas or potential. And 15, poor people believe that others should help them reach the top. And the bonus question is this: what do you think? And spirituality. Just had to take a quick break. Now I'm back. So I'm just gonna highlight some of these. I'm not gonna keep you long. Today I had an epiphany. What am I doing wrong that's causing the results that I'm getting? And rich people tend to think this way. Poor people don't. That's the bonus before the bonus. A lot of times we get caught up in things that's not important, and then it catches us up, and we miss out on what's important. Also, there's consequences, good or bad, on the decisions that we make. We all have 24 hours in a day to improve or to not improve. Please check out Excusicitis 1 and 2. Please check out Plus Your Personalities 1 and 2. And also Attitude 1 and 2. That's on season 3. Plus Your Personality was introduction to season 4, which we are currently in. Stay tuned for the continuation of narcissism and the different types. I did explain 1 and 2 on what is a narc, on some of the traits. I went over some of the covert versus overt narcissists, how they think, how they operate. So stay tuned for that. And it is a mental disorder, and it has to be diagnosed. Feel free to leave your comments on those shows. I'll be happy to hear what your input is after you've listened to it thoroughly and critically. And remain positive, because it's all about positive reinforcement. I'm not here to judge or, mislead anyone. I'm learning just like you are, if you're willing. And sometimes mistakes occur, but how many of us are really trying to correct our mistakes and learn from them? That's the best way to correct a mistake. And I'll just elaborate on the first one here. Poor people watch a lot of TV. My mistake was watching reality TV. I agree with watching TV, and then I don't agree with watching TV. Over the years, I was programmed, and I'm going to say programmed because that's pretty much what it is, to reflect on entertainment. It's not cool to entertain negative. It's not cool to entertain gossip. It's not cool to disconnect. Escapism is not cool. It really takes you off focus, and it really distracts you from getting yourself together. And TV, I'll say, is it educational? And educational TV doesn't have to be boring. Most people it is, because life takes a toll on us and it becomes overwhelming and we want to escape and get out. But poor people use that as an excuse not to get out. Are we willing to come out to transform our lives to a more positive level? Or are we watching TV to make an excuse why we can't get it together? TV